Does your computer desktop or download folder look like this? If so, you may find it difficult to locate documents. In addition to consuming much of your time, you also risk uploading an incorrect assignment into Canvas. Digital file management will make your college experience easier, and you can take this skill with you even after you graduate. Whether you have online or on-campus classes, you will need to create, upload, and submit assignments to a learning management system, such as Canvas. There is nothing worse than accidentally submitting the wrong assignment, so it's important to know precisely where your assignment files are being saved on your computer. The process of saving and organizing files in your computer system is called digital file management. In addition to ensuring that you submit the correct file, properly managing your files allows you to avoid spending unnecessary time searching for a file. Digital file management helps maximize the time in your day so you can produce your best work. This video will explain the process for managing files on a Windows computer. It will discuss naming files, creating folders, moving files into folders, organizing folders, and lastly searching for files. Most of us learn by doing, so it may be beneficial to watch this video from beginning to end and then watch it again, but pause throughout to practice the exercises. You can make up your own assignments and classes to build your file management skills. Part 1. Naming files. It is important to give files specific names so that they can be organized effectively. Each file should have a name that details what course it is for and the title of the assignment. Your professor may request your name be included in the file name as well. For example, the Word document labeled Speech has already been saved to the desktop of this Windows computer. The current file name is vague, and when searching for this file later, I might wonder what class this speech was for. Was it for a communications class? A history class? To avoid confusion, I need to rename the file to reflect the class it is for and the type of assignment it is. An example would be a CST 100 informative speech. To rename the file, click the right mouse button over the file, and then click the left mouse button over Rename. Some laptops require a two-finger tap of the mouse to bring up the same options as clicking the right mouse button. Type CST 100 informative speech, and then hit the Enter key. This new file name makes it clear that the speech is for a CST 100 class. It's a good practice to give files very specific names so that if you need to submit an assignment later, it's easy to tell what it is. Part 2. Creating folders. In addition to giving files specific names, files should be organized into appropriately labeled folders. Think of how paper files are stored in labeled folders in the drawers of a filing cabinet. The same process should be followed with computer files. To create a folder, start by left-clicking the File Explorer on the computer. Select Documents under this PC from the options on the left. In Documents, right-click in the open space and go down to New and over to Folder. Left-clicking on Folder will add a folder to Documents with the Rename box open. Notice the dark blue fill on the white New Folder text. Type CST 100 in the Rename box and then hit the Enter key. The newly created folder named CST 100 is now ready to have files added into it. Folders can be created anywhere, not just in Documents. Some may find it useful to create a folder on their desktop for files that they are currently working on and want quick access to. This folder can be moved after the work has been completed to avoid cluttering the desktop. Part 3. Moving files into folders. Once the CST 100 folder has been created, the file named CST 100 Informative Speech can be moved into the folder. To move the file, minimize Documents by left-clicking on the subtraction sign in the upper right corner of the File Explorer. If you hover your mouse over the subtraction sign, you'll see that it says Minimize. This will return to the computer's desktop. Left-click and hold on the CST 100 Informative Speech file. While holding down the left mouse button, drag the file into the File Explorer and then over top of the CST 100 folder. Release the mouse button to add the file into the folder. It's always a good idea to check that the file went where you wanted it to go. Double-clicking the left mouse button over the CST 100 folder will open it so that you can confirm that the file was moved into the folder. This process of moving files can be repeated so that other files related to the CST 100 class are all put in a single convenient place. Part 4. Organizing folders. If a student is taking more than one class, they will want to create folders for each class. The student may be taking CST 100, Math 154, and Psychology 200 all in one semester at Germanna Community College. A hierarchy system should be used to organize the folders for these classes. Start by creating a folder for Germanna Community College in Documents. Return to Documents by selecting it from the left side of the File Explorer. Right-click in the open space of Documents and go to New and then Folder. Type Germanna Community College and hit the Enter key. Double-click on the Germanna Community College folder to open it. Inside the folder, create another folder to hold the documents for this semester's classes. I'm going to call this one Fall, but you may wish to name yours using the semester and the year. Double-click on the Fall folder to open it. Inside the folder, create two new folders for Math 154 and Psychology 200. Folders can be moved into each other just as files were moved into folders. Return to Documents by selecting it from the left side of the File Explorer. The navigation bar should read This PC with an arrow going towards Documents. Then expand Documents on the left side of the File Explorer by left-clicking on the arrow to the left of the word Documents. Under Documents, the CST 100 and Germanna Community College folders should be visible. Left-click and hold on the CST 100 folder. While holding the left mouse button down, drag the CST 100 folder over the Germanna Community College folder, but don't let go of the left mouse button. After a few seconds, the Germanna Community College folder will expand to show the Fall folder inside of it. Move the CST 100 folder that is still being held over the Fall folder and release the mouse button. The CST 100 folder will be added next to the Math 154 and Psychology 200 folders. This process of organizing folders can be done at the start of each new semester inside of the Germanna Community College folder, so that previously taken classes are separate from any new classes. Once you become more familiar with file management, you can get a jump start and have your class folder set up before the semester even begins. You may even want to create folders for each week, chapter, or Canvas module. An example of this would be creating subfolders labeled Module 1, Module 2, etc. in a folder for an ITE 152 class. Part 5. Searching for files. It is advantageous to know how to use the search bar in File Explorer to find files quickly instead of scrolling through a folder full of files. When opening the Math 154 folder, there are several new files that have been added into it, including the Microsoft Excel files for Chapter 1 entitled BMI, Car Loan, and GPA. Imagine that there are many more files in this folder and the GPA file is being looked for. Typing GPA or part of the file name in the search bar and hitting the Enter key will return any files that have the word GPA in them. The search bar can also be helpful to use if you experience difficulty locating a file. For information regarding file management on an Apple computer or in Google Drive, see our Digital File Management video series. Feel free to review other resources provided by the Academic Center for Excellence on our Technology Resources for Students webpage. If you have any further questions, please visit ACE online or on campus to learn more about our services.